Hi, I'm Jen. Welcome back. What are your goals? Do you want to make more money? Maybe you want to get a promotion or find a less stressful job. Whatever your goals are, or if you're not sure what they should be, in this video, I'll teach you how to make smart, achievable goals so you can succeed in 2019. If you want more career advice, I post new videos weekly to this channel, so subscribe and turn on notifications so you're the first to know. Whenever we talk about setting any goal, there's one format that works fantastic for goals. It's called the S.M.A.R.T format. And doing things in this format helps make sure that the goals you're setting are applicable to your life and also that they're achievable, that they're things that you can really deliver on. So let's look at that format first. And again, apply this to any of your goals, your New Year's resolutions, maybe you're setting goals for the week or the month. This will teach you a really good format to use for that. Let's first talk about SMART goals. So SMART's an acronym and it stands for specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-bound. So you're putting some sort of time frame on it. Let's look at each piece of that. First, let's look at S, or specific. When you're thinking about setting a specific goal, there's a few questions that you can ask yourself. What do I want to accomplish? Why do I want to accomplish it? Is this goal helping me to do something bigger than just the goal itself? Or does it have smaller pieces that need to happen to enable it? So get really specific with your goal. So your goal, if you're an analyst, might be that you want to be an analytics manager. Your goal specifically is to get the training and skills necessary to become an analytics manager in the future. Now, when we get to time bound, we're going to put a specific time frame on that goal. M, measurable. Is your goal measurable? How do you know when you've met your goal? In some cases, this could be that you got a position. It could be that you, if you're doing targets in other areas of your life, that you ran a race that you were planning for, you lost weight, you ate healthier. You could have different measurable goals here, but they really tell you, have I accomplished it? And am I making good progress towards accomplishing that goal? So when you think about measurable, the other thing that can be really good to do is focus on what can you control. So if I'm an analyst that wants to be an analytics manager, going back to that example, I might not exactly be able to control that I get the position, but I can definitely control whether I have the training and skills necessary to get the position. Maybe there's other limitations like your company doesn't have that role, or you're not willing to move, or there's just no openings right now. But you can control whether you have the training and the skills that would allow you to get that role if it were available. When I think of measurable on this, I would say attain all of the training needed and develop the skills necessary to become an analytics manager. This way, I'm completely in control. It's something that's stretching my abilities, but I also have a way to determine when I've met my goal or when I've done everything I can to achieve that goal. Now let's talk about the A, achievable. You want your goals to stretch you. I mean, that's really what a goal is, right? It's causing you to stretch, to grow, to move outside of your current skill sets and abilities. But you also want it to be achievable. So I wouldn't set a goal of, I want to run the company if I'm in an entry-level position. But I might set the goal of, I want to move from my analyst position to an analytics manager position, or some other stepping stone like that. And that doesn't mean it's not a stretch. I'm still going to have skills to develop, and maybe my eventual goal is to run the company. You could set that as a bigger goal, but you probably don't want to set that as a 1 year or a 3 year or a 5 year goal. You might have it further out, or at the very least, there's going to be a lot of other milestones you'll need to plan on if that's the goal. I'd suggest if you're setting goals that are 10 or 15 year goals, set some smaller ones as well. You should be constantly thinking about what can I be doing to get a little bit better about what I'm doing and move forward. This might mean you set a goal for the day, the week, the month, but make sure it's attainable. So again, in my example, I'm setting an attainable goal of moving into the next level up position of managing a group of analysts, but it's going to stretch me because if I'm not a manager now, I need to develop those specific skills and demonstrate them to the organization or demonstrate them in an interview to be able to get into that position. Let's talk about relevance. Is your goal relevant? You can have a lot of different goals, and sometimes I think we get hung up on setting way too many goals, or we say, I want to accomplish this, but we don't really prioritize. So how does your goal fit with your other priorities? If your priority is to find a less stressful job, then you probably shouldn't also be setting a goal to move up a position into a management role if you're not in management today. You want to make sure that you know, where does this stand? That doesn't mean you can't set goals that might not seem to mesh. It just means you'll need to prioritize which ones you're really going to focus on. So in this case, I think it's a very relevant goal to take the next step in your career, and putting a time frame on that could affect how other goals in your life are working. So if I set that goal for 6 months from now, that's going to be a much more taxing goal. It's going to require a lot more commitment on my part than if I set that goal for 3 years from now or 5 years from now. So keep that in mind as we move into setting the kind of the time-bound segment. That leads us into time-bound, or T. Put some sort of time frame on your goal. You can have open-ended goals, but the goals that just statistically end up being achieved are normally the ones that have some sort of time frame on them. If you don't put a time frame on them, what usually ends up happening is you down prioritize it. You always pick something else that you're going to work towards, whether it's a career goal or a personal goal. If you don't have to do something right now or tomorrow or the next day, then it's easy to kind of forget about it, put it back burner. And that doesn't mean it's not something you want to accomplish. It just means you haven't made it a priority enough to focus on it. So again, whether you set your goal, in this case, if you want to be an analytics manager, if you set that career goal for 6 months from now, you're going to be doing things every single day to get ready for that. If you set it 3 years from now, you probably don't need to do something every day, but you probably want to do something every week, or at the very least every month, to get ready for that career goal so you can definitely achieve it. So that SMART goal model helps you set really good goals that are good to achieve. So whether you're setting career goals or personal goals, use that model, keep it in mind, sketch out your goals, and write down what each of those pieces mean to you. If you're setting a 3 to 5 year goal, or even a 1 year goal, try to also set some milestones beneath that. So if I want to be an analytics manager, maybe I need to have a milestone on building technology skills, taking certain management training. It could be getting a mentor that's already in management that can kind of coach me along and help me develop those skills. But you want something that gives you something to tell you, am I on track? Do I need to do a lot more? Is this consuming too much of my time? I mean, most people don't really get upset if they meet their goals ahead of time, but you do want to know that you're on track to be able to meet your goal. You can't just set a goal for 3 years from now to move into a management position and do nothing between now and 2 years and 11 months from now and expect to really do well with that. Unless you set your goal super small, and in that case, it should probably not be a 3-year goal. Pick one of those, or pick something else. I'm curious what kind of goals you decide to set for the next year, or the next 3 years, or the next month or week. Let me know in the comments. Is your goal for this year to get a new job? Is your resume saying everything that you want it to say? If you're not sure if your resume is the perfect resume to land you a new job this year, check out links below. I'll help you get it tailored so that it really sets you apart from other candidates. And if you feel like your resume is okay, but you want other tips, I put together my 5 top keys to landing a new job. It'll give you everything you need to know to make sure your job search is a huge success. Thanks so much for watching.